In this tutorial, I want to show you how to create a revolve. So features things that are somewhat cylindrical. You would, instead of extruding them, create a revolve. Now we don't have to do that for things like pipes and tubes and things like that, because we can use a circle and extrude it, or create a 3D object that is a cylinder. So to get started, what we're going to do is go to a new part file. I'm going to use English units. And then we'll go to create a sketch. I'm going to start on the XY plane. And now let's just draw something out. What you want to do is think about the profile of the object that you're trying to create. So if you think of a flower vase, maybe sitting in front of a white wall and then shining light on the flower vase, you'll see a shadow on the wall. And that shape of the shadow would be really what the profile of the object is. So it's like taking a slice through the object, what you would see. And we only want to draw half of it, and then we're going to revolve it around. So let's draw something like this. We'll draw a line. If I was going to do a cylinder as a revolve, which I could do, it would just be a rectangle. But I'll do something rather than just a cylinder. Maybe do something like this and put a little bit of an arc to it. And then maybe I will just draw that across and down. And you can draw something similar. It doesn't matter exactly what you draw, but it does need to be a closed shape. So I've gone up, across, and down. I think I might actually be missing a line. I'm just going to make sure that there is a line in here. And across. There we go. And so now I've got this shape, and I'm going to revolve it. So to do the revolve, I first have to have a center line for the revolve. So what I do is I go up over on the right-hand side here to where it says construction. I click on that, and then I can go, and anything I draw at this point will be a construction line. So I'm going to create a line that goes from the origin, and I like to take it up past the object. That way I can see that it's there. And notice that it's a dashed line. I'm just going to try to zoom in for you. You can see that it's a dashed line rather than a solid line. So if it isn't, then this hasn't been clicked on. I can click on that and it turns it back into a solid line. It's no longer a construction line. Turn it back into one. I'm going to click on it and turn it into a construction line. And a construction line then can be used as an axis for the rotation in the revolve. So now I've got my shape. I'm going to click finish. And then I'm going to go over to the sketch and revolve. Click on revolve up in the window here. So now it's all set to go. It's selected the profile. What it needs is the axis. So I go over and I select this construction line as my axis. And notice that now it revolves all the way around. So you can see how the shape didn't really look like that to begin with. But we have to think of just a slice. And then it revolves that all the way around. If I don't want it to go all the way around, over here it says full. I could just put in, maybe I want it to go maybe 120 degrees. And then I've only got 120 degrees over revolve. I'm going to want it to go all the way around, so I'm going to type in 360. Now I've got the revolve. And that's really all that there is to it. The main thing is thinking about the profile that you've got to create. So you can do the same thing for the nose cone in the rocket or any other assignments that you're working on. Just to show you a couple of other small things while I'm here, you could use the shell command to open it up. So I could go to something like the shell command here. And so if this was supposed to be a bowl, I would want it shelled out. So what I do is I select the faces that I want to remove. And then I can say what the wall thickness is going to be. So maybe I'm going to make the wall right now, it's 0.1. Let's make it 0.8. And say OK. Somehow it came back and said something wrong with that. Oh, sorry, I made it too big. I made make it 0.08. And then say OK. All right, so I had made the wall thickness bigger than it can actually be here. So, and then that gives me my overall bowl. And if I had wanted it to be open in the bottom, I could have, I'll go back to my shell, right click, and go to Edit Feature. And now I could go to Remove Faces, and I can remove that face as well. And then say OK, and now it looks like that. Now I've got that open face. So a lot of things to make use of up in this area, and you should get used to using them, but or try them out and see which ones are useful to you. That's the end of this tutorial.